I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with a highlighter that I forgot to haul last week, and that is from Lethal Cosmetics. I ordered it off of Camera Ready Cosmetics when I got that other eyeshadow palette, and that is the Isotope shade. So these are traditional powder highlighters, and they come with a little sleeve that somebody got a hold of, one of the cats. It comes in holographic cardboard style packaging, and this is made in Germany, and there's a total of 0.18 ounces of product in here. So this is the Isotope shade. I've used it quite a bit. It's a traditional pressed powder style highlighter, and this one is going to be a good one for the summertime. It's got a pretty like champagne glow to it, but it's a little bit deeper on my skin in like when I'm really fair in the wintertime like I am right now. It still looks really pretty. As you can see, I've used it quite a bit, but it's going to be one I'm going to probably go to a lot in the summertime. It's got like a golden champagne shift to it. And then I'll go ahead and swatch it next to the other one that I have had for a while, which is Ionic. And this one's a champagne with a little bit of a pinkness to it. And I've worn this one quite a bit as well. But I just want you guys to be able to see the two next to each other. So next to Ionic, you can really see that there's a bit of pink in the, no, this is Isotope. This is Ionic. Let's get it together. The more pink one is Ionic, and then the golden one is Isotope, but you can really see next to each other how much more kind of light and pink the Ionic shade is. But those are really pretty pressed powder highlighters from Lethal Cosmetics right there. I've been really wanting to get their trios with like 2 blushes and a bronzer in there, and they're just always sold out. But I want to get 2 different variations. There's a shade of bronzer in there that looks like it'd be perfect for my skin tone. And then next I started out with just purchasing one, and then I went back and I purchased another one. And then yesterday when I was in the store at Ulta, I was like, just get the rest of them because you know you're going to do it anyway. And those are the new Urban Decay 24/7 Moon Dust shadows. So they revamped their single shadows. I was looking at their other singles as well, and there's some pretty shades in that range, but I was really after the Moon Dust shades. So this is the packaging that they come in, the cardboard packaging. And then this new style packaging is really nice. It's a clear acrylic packaging, which I think is really nice. So these guys each have 0.06 ounces of product, which is pretty decent, and they're made in Canada. And this shade right here is called Cosmic, and I've actually got this shade underneath the brow, and on the inner portion of my lid right there is this Cosmic shade. And I really like these shadows. I use a pretty tacky kind of base with that CoverGirl foundation, and these go over the top of that really nice. I don't get a ton of fallout. They do have little micro glitters in there, and with that primer I can just use a flat shader brush and really pack them on, and they just look so pretty and sparkly. So I've kind of been using this one in lieu of the Aether Beauty Pure Diamond Dust. This one here is more white. It's got a more white shift to it, where the Aether Beauty's got like a nude shift to it. I still love my Aether, and I continue to use that at least a couple times a week, but I've been toying around with this one in lieu of that one lately. So that's the shade Cosmic, and this next one is the shade Space Cowboy. So with these shadows, there is a little bit of translucency to them, which I think is really pretty when you wear them by themselves. And then this next shade is called Solstice, which kind of reminds me of MAC's blue or green brown pigment, but this has got a lot more of those pretty sparkles in it. It's one of my favorite shades. This is actually the first one that I bought, and then I bought this one, and then I went back and got the other 3 yesterday. So that's the shade Solstice right there. And then we have the shade Lithium. Got a little bit of a brown with a greenish hint to it. So there is Lithium. And then the last shade is Glitter Rock, which is a really pretty purple with like multi-dimensional sparkles in it. So that one is Glitter Rock right here. And I think they're so pretty. I may get 1 or 2 of their singles in their like other range, because there were some really pretty metallic looking shades in there. But those are the new Urban Decay Moon Dust eyeshadows right there. and I really like them. And then I purchased the third blush from the MAC Cherry Blossom collection. I had hauled the other two last week, and I was wishing that I just purchased the third one, because these are that extra dimension formula that I absolutely love. It's like a baked jelly formula that looks so pretty on the skin. And a lot of retailers are sold out of these, but I saw that they did restock them on Nordstrom, so they might be restocking them at other retailers as well. But this is the Under My Plum shade. There's 0.14 ounces of product in here, and this is made in Italy. And the packaging on this collection is just stunning. This is going to be a good one that's going to give the skin kind of a slightly sunburnt look because of that reddish tint to it, which I love blushes like that, especially in the summer. But isn't that pretty? That is the shade Under My Plum right there, which is the deepest of the three in the collection. And then next up, I purchased 4 of the new products from the Jaclyn Cosmetics collection that launched at Ulta. I got 2 of the duos, 1 of the pressed powders, and then 1 of the loose highlighters. And I did want to make note that on the duos and also the pressed powder on the box packaging, there's a sticker on each one of them that says made in Italy. And then underneath the sticker, it says made in the USA, which could just very well mean they repurposed the packaging. But I just did want to make note of that. There is not a sticker on the little loose highlighter. Packaging is really pretty. It's got that rose gold to it. So this first one is the loose highlighter, and it's got 0.14 ounces of product, which is pretty decent. And then the packaging on this guy is a little chunky acrylic jar, and it's got a raised J, and it says Jaclyn up in the corner right there, which I do like the packaging. I think it's pretty, but this is kind of bulky. The highlighter, the product inside is stunning. It's kind of a mica style highlighter, but it has a little bit more oomph than some of the other mica style highlighters that I have in my collection. So this is the shade Extra, which looked to be the lightest one out of the bunch. I was really hoping that when I went in Ulta yesterday that they had this collection in store so I could like see it, but they didn't. So this is the lightest one, and I've got this highlighter on my cheeks today and all the points where I usually highlight my face, and I love this highlighter. It is so beautiful on the skin. And you don't need a ton either. So I think it'll last a while. I'll give you guys a swatch of the shade Extra. It is really beautiful. And I was never able to get her other highlighters that she launched. I just wasn't able to catch it in stock on the website, but I've heard really good things about the other like 4 shade highlighter palettes and loose highlighters that she came out with. Because I had heard such good things, that's what got me really excited to try these ones. And I love this highlighter. It is absolutely beautiful. It's got a slight champagne tone to it, but it's like a nude. It's stunning. So I've got that on my skin today as a highlighter, and that is the loose highlighter in the shade Extra. And then the pressed highlighter has got 0.17 ounces of product. And the shade that I got here is the shade Sparks. So this is the box packaging on that guy. The packaging on this guy and also the duos is like weighty, and it feels really nice and substantial. But I'm not crazy about it because it's so bulky. And in both the duos and the single like pressed highlighter here, they made the packaging bigger to include the Jaclyn Cosmetics inside the packaging. When it's on the outside, I didn't think it was necessary to put it inside to make the packaging bigger. So I'm not crazy about the packaging on the pressed products, but I absolutely love the product inside. So here's the shade Sparks, and this one's got more of a yellow undertone compared to the loose highlighter. And it is really pretty on the skin, but on me it does come off quite yellow. So I would have loved just a little bit more of a neutral tone in this, because I think it's the lightest shade out of the pressed highlighters. Again, I haven't been able to see this in the store, but the other shades look like they'd be too dark for my skin tone. So I wish that this one was a little bit more neutral and didn't pull so yellow. However, it is a really pretty highlighter. So I think I'll use it mostly in the summertime. It isn't quite as blinding as the loose highlighter though. And then I got 2 of the duos, and this first one is the Pink Me Up and Oh Honey combination. And the blush total is 0.14 ounces and the bronzer is 0.17 ounces, which there is just a little bit more bronzer than there is blush. I would have loved these to be released as singles instead of duos because I really, really love the bronzers and the blushes. So when I've used these, I've used them in conjunction with each other. I use the bronzer with the blush, but I use so much more bronzer in comparison to blush when I use these that I'm going to go through the bronzer faster than the blush. So for that reason, I wish they would have came out as singles. Even though there is a little bit more bronzer in there, it's not enough to compensate, if that makes any sense. But again, with this packaging, it's pretty big and bulky. It says Jaclyn, and there's a raised J in the corner. And then you've got all this extra, you know, space. Again, this is Jaclyn Cosmetics, which I wish they could have just done without. But that aside, the formulation of this is really, really pretty. I've actually got this on my face today to bronze and blush, which this combination is a little bit warmer than the other one that I'm going to show you. But I love these products. So let's give you some swatches of them. And this bronzer is warmer than the other one that I'm going to show you. And on my skin tone, I can really see a difference with the tones of the bronzers and the blushes. So this is the warmer duo that I got. And I have that on today, as well as that highlighter. And that one is the Pink Me Up and Oh Honey. And the other one I got is Lilac Love and Top Tan. And the bronzer shade in here is so, so perfect for my skin tone. It's a little bit more cool compared to the other duo, but it just is really, really flattering on my skin tone. So I almost want to, you know, just go into this bronzer to use the bronzer, but I don't want to completely go through the bronzer and have that much blush left, although I love the blush in here too, if that makes sense. Again, I wish they were singles so that I could just go buy that as a single bronzer. Maybe we'll do that in the future, but this is Lilac Love and Top Tan. And the Lilac Love blush is just stunning. I love the shade of it. Very good one for like the springtime. So you can see that this bronzer is more cool than this one, as is the blush. And the blush has got such a pretty like slate purple hint to it. And I really love both of these duos that I picked up. I'm hoping that, again, that my like more local Ulta will get this collection in so I can see them, because I wouldn't mind picking up one or two more of these. And then the formulation on the pressed highlighter and also the duos is kind of like a baked formulation. Not a baked gelée, but just a traditional baked powder formula. Next up, I purchased two items from the new Artist Couture Spring collection. I got the Diamond Lights Finisher, which is a loose eyeshadow. And this is the shade Epiphany. And these are made in the USA, and there's a total of 0.12 ounces in the little jars here, which these can be a little bit messy, but they look so pretty and sparkly on the eyes. I think this is the third or fourth one of these that I have. And this one here is it's like a pale pink with a purple hue to it and some multi-dimensional kind of gold and silver sparkles in it. It's very pretty. I'm going to put some in the lid here. They come off quite chunky, so when you pick them up on a brush, you kind of want to pat them to break apart the particles and kind of make sure that you have either a tacky primer or a glitter glue or something like that to get them to adhere really well. But this is the shade Epiphany, and it is really pretty. So I just got what I had in the cap there because this is a loose sifter style jar that they come in. So here is Epiphany. Right here. And I'm also tempted to put this on my cheeks as a highlighter. I haven't done it yet, but I may. It's just a really pretty sparkly lilac with all these like multi-dimensional little sparklies in it. So that's Epiphany. And then I also got the 8-pan eyeshadow palette. And I really wish they would have printed the artwork that's on the box packaging on the actual palette, because it's so pretty. Like, it would have just looked so much prettier. Even though this is still pretty, this is even prettier. So this guy here has got 8 shades in there, and this is, it says bulk made in the USA and assembled in the Dominican Republic. And there's 8 shades that are 0.02 ounces per shade, which is not a ton of product that you're getting per eyeshadow. So it's a hard plastic packaging, much like his, it was like the, I want to say Caliente, but I don't think it was called that. I just grabbed it, and it is the Caliente palette. So it's the same style packaging as the Caliente palette. And this guy here has got 3 really kind of sparkly shimmer shades and then 5 matte eyeshadows. This guy here is not a standalone palette for me. And some of the mattes feel a little dry, but they do blend out quite nice. And then the shimmers, They're nice, but they could be better in my opinion. So hopefully you can just tell in the swatches whether or not it's going to be something that you would like. But I do have to use this as a pairing palette. So those are the first 4. And then this bottom row. I do love me a good pastel, and there are some pretty matte pastels in here. I think those shimmers just could have been better. They feel like they're just a little dry and they're pressed kind of hard. So when I used it, I had to take my flat shader and kind of really stab it into the product to get it to loosen up and then pick it up with the brush and kind of pack it on. But anyways, that is the new Artist Couture Ethereal Bloom. I don't even think I said the name, but this is the Ethereal Bloom eyeshadow palette right here. Again, that's from Artist Couture. Next up, I purchased 2 items from Uoma Beauty in their collaboration with the movie Coming to America. The only other product that I've tried from Uoma Beauty so far is their concealer, and it's a very nice concealer. So I was excited about this guy. This is what the box packaging comes like. I haven't had a chance to watch the sequel just yet, but I really love the original movie. It just reminds me of like my childhood because I remember always watching that show. But this is the packaging that it comes in. It's very cute. It says Zamunda 5 pounds and a little sticker. Like the attention to detail is really nice. The actual packaging has got some really pretty artwork on it as well, and it's a cardboard style packaging. So this is the Black Magic palette, and there's a really pretty plastic protector in there that I'm actually going to keep because I always like it when they put artwork on the little plastic pieces, if they're going to include one. And then inside there is a mirror, and it says Royal Heritage, noun, when the big bucks start rolling in, don't mess with my money on there. So in addition to the Urban Decay Cosmic eyeshadow that I have on, this is the palette that I have on my eyes today, and I was just blown away by, well, the mattes are absolutely beautiful as well, but I was just blown away by these shimmer shades. When I first opened it up, I thought for sure that those were going to be like a cream texture and kind of a little bit more finicky to work with, and they're not. They pick up on a brush beautifully. They blend beautifully, like these style shadows, and they're so sparkly. So I have got the shade Molly right there on the kind of center portion of my lid, and it's stunning. Wait till you see the swatches of these. I need more of these. If you guys have tried other Uoma Beauty eyeshadow palettes and this formula is in there, let me know because I will need to have those. So let's go ahead and give you guys some swatches. I'm like really excited for you guys to see how beautiful these are. They're just very stunning shadows. And for being this sparkly, sometimes, you know, they can be a little bit more difficult to pick up on a brush, but these are not. They pick up really lovely. They're so pretty. And because of the way that they feel, I think that you could probably even use these primerless, because they got a little bit of a, I'm sure there's some silicones in there, but look at those. They're stunning. I mean, they do have a little bit of a, like, they do feel a little bit creamy, especially this one. Not so much those ones as much as that one. But it's a silicone situation. There's silicones in there. But I was just really happy with how well they were picked up on a brush and they applied. And then the shine that they give, they're stunning. And then these mattes are really pigmented. They blend out really well. I had very little fallout. And the only thing for me is this isn't a standalone palette either. I do have to bring in something a little bit lighter because everything is kind of mid-tone or deeper just for how I like to contour my eye. And then this last shade. And these type of purples are not super easy to do, and look how, like, even that swatched pretty smooth. But I am so happy that I picked this up. I think it's stunning. So that is the Black Magic palette from Uoma Beauty and the Coming to America 2 movie right there. I also got one of the lip products from that same collaboration from Uoma Beauty and Coming to America. And this is the box packaging on this guy. And the shade that I got is Peaches and Akeem. So this is called the Hypnotic Impact High Shine Lipstick. And this guy here is made in Italy. Did I tell you guys where the palette was made? Let me tell you where that's made. Palette is also made in Italy. Pretty box packaging on there. And then here is the packaging. It says Black Magic right there. And there's a lion right there as well, which attention to detail is really nice. And then here is the lipstick. And I got this guy because it said it was a sheer metallic nude. And this kind of is almost like a lip balm. There's not like any glitters or sparkles or like anything like that in here, or micas. It's got a really high shine to it, but I wouldn't call it metallic. It's more of like a balm. And it's also, in the bullet, it looks darker than it kind of looked online, but it's so sheer. So it's just an easy to wear type of product. So you can kind of see right there, it's got the sheen of a balm, but there are no visible sparkles in it. So that is the shade Peaches and Akeem right there from that same Uoma and Coming to America collab. And then I placed an order on the Besame Cosmetics website because I wanted to get their compact with their pressed powder. And when I got my order, everything came in this really pretty, like, it feels kind of like a silk little pouch, which I thought was a really nice detail. And then the I Love Lucy lipstick was back in stock and it was also on sale. So I went ahead and I got the What a Peach lipstick. I had purchased the eyeshadow palette quite some time ago and I really like that one as well. But the lipstick was sold out when I got the eyeshadow palette. And Lucy is on the lipstick packaging, and then there's kind of some little crystals on there as well. And it says on the box packaging, it's manufactured and distributed in the US. So here is the What a Peach shade. I just love like Besame's whole aesthetic of their brand. I think they're really fun. And it's a peachy nude shade right there. And their formulation is really nice as well. This is how the bullet looks. So that is the What a Peach lipstick. And then the compact came in this cute little box with a closure. And then when you buy the compact, you get to pick kind of what pressed powder you want. And I got the shade Violet. So the pressed powder actually comes in this little sleeve, and then you put it inside the compact. And it also includes a little pouch to store the compact in. And there's also a little puff with the powder. But like, here, let me put it all how it came. This is how it came in this like this, like a little silk box. So I already put the violet powder inside, and I had actually been using this powder to set underneath my eyes, and I really enjoyed it like that. I haven't used it any other way other than to set underneath my eyes, and it's a really pretty kind of brightening effect that you get. But I really like it. It'd be a good one too to probably dust over for like a little excess shine, or if you wanted, let me put some on, like a little, say, added brightness in the center of your face. It's a good one for kind of that too. But I really like Besame's powder products. I've got a couple of their loose ones, but this is the pressed powder in Violet. I'll just go ahead and swatch it, and it's magnetized in there so you can refill the compact. You can really see the brightness right there. And it's got a nice weight to it, and it's a magnetic closure, and then it has that pretty design on it as well. Just a really kind of classic feeling pretty compact from Besame Cosmetics right there. And then when I was at Ulta yesterday, I decided to go ahead and repurchase the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I had gone through mine a couple months back, and I just really missed this powder. It looks so pretty on the skin. It never like makes my skin feel like super dry, but it provides a super nice set. So I love that about it. And you also get 29 grams, or a total of 1 ounce of product, which is a lot of product that you're getting for the money. So I did go ahead and repurchase that, and that's what I have set on my number 7 foundation today. And again, really pretty on the skin, nice finish, has a good set without making my skin feel super dry. So I just really love it. It's got a cult following, I believe, for a reason. So I'm happy that I got that because I did miss it. Ulta also had the new Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Concealer. And I have got this on today. I've got the shade 12B Fair Beige. And I had the Next Darkest Cool shade in my hands. And I was like, no, just try to get one. Because I always end up buying 2 shades of a concealer to find the shade that works best for me. And I wish I would have got the next shade down. I'm going to eventually do it because I like this concealer. I was not that big of a fan of the original Shape Tape for a lot of the reasons that a lot of people have said. It's really drying underneath the eyes, and I have really dry eye skin anyway. So it always looked really heavy and thick and dry underneath my eyes. So for that reason, I never cared for it. So I was excited to see this because it does have a nice coverage to it. And so this is what I have underneath my eyes today. And I took the wand and I just went line there, and then I blended it out through that entire area. And this particular shade is a little bit too light. So I am going to go ahead and purchase, again, that next darker shade down to mix them for like my winter shade. And then I'll probably just go to the deeper shade possibly in the summertime. But the formulation so far, I've really been enjoying it. So let me give it a swatch. It's got the giant doe foot applicator, and this one's got ultra creamy on there. I don't have any migration into my little wrinkles or my little under eye rolls either, and it feels super comfortable. So this is the Fair Beige 12B shade, kind of blended out a little bit. It's got really good coverage, and it feels comfortable. Let's put it over my little mole there so you can kind of see. Pretty good coverage. And you can see up against my skin tone, that shade is a little bit bright. So that's the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape right there. And then I purchased this Revolution bronzer in 01 Cool. Reason being is one of my favorite bronzers is from this Revolution Pro Sculpt and Glow Contour and Highlight Palette. And I'm on my third one of these. I've used up 2 of the entire bronzers in these palette, and I love the highlighter as well, but same thing when it comes to like a duo. I use more bronzer than I do of the highlight product, so I run out of that quicker. And this doesn't have a ton of product in it, but I love this tone of bronzer on my skin, and the formulation of this is beautiful. Again, so is the highlighter. So I can't find this product. It's not inside Ulta, and I didn't see it on the Revolution website either. So I was looking for a bronzer in that shade, and so I thought I'd try this one. And they're not the same. But it's not a bad bronzer, and this one has mineral oil in it. If I'd have known that, I probably would have never purchased it. But again, I was looking for a similar tone. This one does not have mineral oil in it, and you can see that they're just not the same tone. There's something a little bit rosy about this one, and then this is kind of just a little bit of a deeper warm bronze in comparison. But if anybody knows, if there's a dupe shade out there that looks like that in the Revolution line, again, this is a Pro one, and this is just the Revolution regular line, I would sure appreciate you letting me know. You can even see the little bit of red hint that's in that. I love that. It looks so flattering on my skin. So I haven't been using this a whole ton because this is the last one that I have. But anyway, this is the Mega Bronzer in 01 Cool, and that's that one right there. And I was hoping for that, but I got that. And then Sephora restocked the Cosas 1.5C shade in the Super Creamy and Brightening Concealer, which is one of my favorite concealers. I just think it's so pretty. They came out with new shades, and I bought the 0.5 shade when I was down south, and the 1.5 was not in the store. It was only online, and it was sold out. So I was able to get the 1.5, and a combination of the 0.5 and 1.5 is like my perfect right now under eye concealer shade. So the shade that I was using prior to that I mentioned in my yearly favorites was the shade 01. But this formula is so stunning. I got so excited when I found out that they came out with more shades of this concealer. Just right up my alley. It has a medium coverage and it blends out really nice. It feels super nice underneath the eyes as well. So let me swatch all of the shades together so you can see them next to each other. So this one is the 0.5 shade, which is also a new shade. It's almost like the Tarte shade that I got there. And then I'll swatch the number 1 shade, which is the one that I had been using quite a bit last year. It's a little bit more yellow in tone compared to the other two. And then the 1.5C shade, which is the one that I just got, be right here. I love this concealer. I love it so much that I have 3 shades. But that is from Cosas right there. So pretty. If you have really dry under eyes, I'd give this guy a try because it's very creamy. It blends out really nice. It looks pretty. Just a good one. Should I kind of like blend these out a little bit? And for right now, I've been mixing the 0.5 with the 1.5 for underneath my eyes. And then I also purchased 4 products from the ColourPop and Bambi collaboration collection. I had to have the powder poof. Like, the packaging on this gives me all the feels. I live for stuff like this. So this is the Pixie Puff highlighter, which I think all of this is restocked. And I think it's on sale as well right now on the ColourPop website. But there's 0.44 ounces of product in here, and ColourPop stuff is made in the USA. I love the packaging. So what I like to do with these, I've got the butterfly one as well, is the poof. You get the little sparkles on there. This is the little holes in there. And then what I do with it is I like to pounce it on, like, oh, get my braid out of the way. I like to just go like this and pounce it on my neck. I typically don't get it all over my clothes, but I got some of my clothes, whoops. But it just really adds a nice sparkle and kind of ties in your face makeup kind of with your neck. So that's how I like to use these powder puffs. I don't know if you can probably even see that on camera. It's a beige with golden sparkles in it. It's pretty though for, like, you know, body and décolletage and stuff. And I had to have the 3 quints that came out, and I have liked to use these quints all together. Like, I like to mix them because some of them aren't standalone, but they look really pretty with each other. So this first one is Thumper, and there's a total of 0.19 ounces of product in here. I mean, can we just with the packaging? It's so cute. And then there are 2 shimmers and 3 mattes in this guy. And it's like a rosy nude palette. And these are also magnetized if you would like to remove them. And then this last one is, I think they call them sequin shadows. It's like a matte with the sparkles in it. Really pretty there. So that one is the Thumper palette. So cute. This next one is the Flower Pressed Powder palette. There are 2 shimmers, 1 sequin, and 2 mattes in here. And this one has a really pretty purple scheme to it. I think I've used this one the most, or shades out of this one in collaboration with the other ones. And then this sequin shade, which is the matte with the sparkles in it. I was really impressed with this formula in these Bambi palettes. And then lastly, we have got Bambi, which is a warm neutral palette, and there's 1 shimmer, 1 sequin, and 3 mattes in this guy. And then you've got Bambi on there. I know I'm a child, but here are the shades. And look at the detail in the mirror too. I love that. All of them have got the little guy inside too. Let me just swatch on these guys. That yellow is just like really popping. And then the sequin shade. So there are the swatches of the Bambi quint right there. ColourPop sent me a PR package, and it's their new Limoncello. I hope I didn't butcher that, but I think it's Limoncello collection, which is kind of based around lemons. And when I saw the palette, I was like really vibing with it with those yellows, and there's a pop of blue in there. So we'll go ahead and start out with the pressed powder palette. And I'm happy to report there are no pressed glitters in here, and there are also no Super Shock shadows. This is all pressed powder palette. There's a total of 0.42 ounces of product in here, and these are also magnetized inside the palette. So this one actually feels a little bit heavier because they included a mirror in this one. So it feels a little bit more weighted, a little bit more substantial in terms of the packaging. There are 5 shimmer metallic shades in here, and then everything else is matte. And I wore this palette yesterday in conjunction with the Aether Beauty highlighter for the inner corner and underneath the brow. And I loved the look so much that I almost repeated it for today's video, but I wanted to try the Uoma Beauty palette because I hadn't used that one yet, but it was so pretty. I love this dusty, like, it's almost like a periwinkle type of blue shade. It's very, very pretty in conjunction with this matte yellow. It looked really, really nice, and I wore the green on the lid. I was just super happy with the look that came out of this. Like, I wanted to wear it today as well because it looks so pretty. I wore a navy blue winged eyeliner with it. Oh, I just loved it. And then this shade here's got a little bit of a duochrome to it with some slightly kind of green little sparkles in it. And these shades, I really, really like the color story of this palette a lot. Look at how pretty those are. Like, give me 80-degree weather already. It's actually pretty nice today. I think the high today is 63, but... And then the bottom row. And these are a little bit bigger pans than some of their other 12 pans. These are like, I think they're almost like they're full size pans inside. I should look real quick. All the vibes, man. Yeah, these are the same size as their single shadows. So that is the Limoncello. I hope I didn't butcher that. Eyeshadow palette. And I really like it a lot. The brush set comes in this lemon pouch. This says ColourPop on it, and there are 5 brushes in here, and I have a couple other ColourPop brushes, and they're really, really soft, functional synthetic brushes. I think that they're made really well too, but very soft synthetic bristles, and these ones are yellow. So it comes with the E4, which is kind of a flat shader or a concealer brush, the E2, which is a rounded blending brush, and then the F1, which is a powder brush. Gosh, that's super soft. And then the E6, which is an angled line. Oh, I put my hand in front of it. An angled liner brush. And then a little smudger brush, the E21, which is circular in shape. So those are the 5 brushes that come in the set, and they're all in the lemon coloring. Totally fun. Even the attention to detail on the packaging that everything comes in, like the little lip here is a lemon, a half of a lemon. Like, it's gonna be hard to throw away such cute packaging. So the 3 blush shades are Cottage Life, right here, which is a warm nude shade. I've been into cream blushes lately, so. And then this next shade is Picnic Time, which I think is probably my favorite one out of the bunch. So that one is Picnic Time. And then this last one is the shade Coastal Drive, which is a deep kind of nude, burnt nude color. So those are the 3 cream blushes in the collection. And then they also came out with this Shadow Sticks set, which are little eyeshadow pencils. And I think these are their first shadow sticks because I don't remember them coming out with these before. But here are the 4 shades. You have got Style and Ease, which is a matte blue shade. And they kind of coordinate with that eyeshadow palette. And then we have got the yellow shade, which is called Citrus Squeeze. And this is a metallic shade. The blue one is a matte and this one's a metallic. And then there's Check Please, which is also a matte. 2 mattes and 2 metallics in here. So that one is Check Please. And then the last one is called Cool Breeze, and this is a metallic. It's like a greeny gold shade. But that's fun to have some shadow sticks. They're quite creamy and they go on pretty well, see? Like you don't have to do a ton of pulling to get them on. I just smudged the blue one and it hasn't been on my hand very long, but I think if you let these set, they're going to be one of those long wearing type of formulas. The collection also comes with 4 of their Luxe glosses, which you guys have heard me say before that these remind me of the old Revlon mineral glosses that came out. They have that same smell to them, and they're just very, like when I put these on, it's just very reminiscent for me. So I love the way that these smell because of that. They don't taste or anything like that, but I do like this gloss formula. It's a pretty formula. Packaging on this is very cute as well. So these are all nude shades. We've got a clear shade with golden sparkles in it, which I'll swatch it for you guys so you can see the shine that it gives with the sparkles, but it's just kind of a clear gloss with the sparkles in it. And then we have got the shade Panna Cotta, Pannacotta, which is a warm nude. This one is the shade Gelato, right here. So there's Gelato. And then the fourth one is called Biscotti. And it is a warm, deeper nude. Right there. So those are the 4 glosses. And then the last 3 products are the Shimmering Dry Oil, which this will give a golden sparkle on the skin. There's not a huge amount of pigmentation. It's like a slight moisturization with sparkles in it. So that's the Citron Crush Shimmering Dry Oil right there. And then the Glow Oil's got more of a metallic slate finish to it. And this is also in Citron Crush right there. And then there is the Fourth Ray Glisten Up Illuminating Mist. And you do have to shake up these to kind of get the sparkles to disperse in the product. So like, especially the Shimmering Dry Oil and the Glisten Up here, you got to give it a good shake to mix up the sparkles in it. But that's like a face spray. And those are all the products from the Limoncello collection. And huge thank you to ColourPop for sending that collection over. I get so many feels where it's just like, it's just so much joy. It brings me so much joy. And then lastly, I got a PR package from Beautylish, and they sent me over their new Yano series brush set, which I remember when I hauled the face brush set, I was like, I hope there is an eye set to follow. And sure enough, there is an eye set to follow. So it comes with 5 brushes, and these are handmade Japanese brushes. The quality is very on par with Hakuhodo, Chikuhodo, Sonia G, so that type of style brush. They've got the number 6 brush, which is the largest one, and it's got a point to it. The ferrule is circular all the way around. And then it's got a little bit smaller pointed brush, which is the number 7 brush. And that is also circular all the way around. These type of brushes are really good for people who can really work a crease. I don't have a crease. I mean, there's a crease in there somewhere underneath that skin, but I can't just place a brush like this on my eyes. Like half of this brush would disappear underneath the fold on my hooded eye, if that makes any sense. But these type of brushes are good for people who can really work a socket line, or if you wanted to kind of precisely, you know, do like blending work with the very tip of it. So that's the number 6 brush, and that's the number 7 brush. And then we have got the number 8 brush, which is also circular all the way around, and it's like a blender. This is one of my favorites. Really good for working the upper crease is what I should call it, because I have to work like above the fold. One day I think I'm going to do a video on my eyes. It's a whole thing. If you have that heavy hooded, like lot of skin on your eyes, I know you understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, this is the number 8 brush right here. Again, the ferrule is circular all the way around. And then these brushes too, super nice little detail with the slicing on the end of the handle there. It reminds me of the, I think it's the S series from Hakuhodo. And then another one of my favorites is the number 9 brush. This one's got a slight pinch to it. So just another really good one for blending out. Or you can also use it because it has that pinch. You could use it as a slight packer, although these bristles aren't as stiff as what I like to use for like a flat shader. So I like to use these kind for blending. So that guy is the number 9 brush right there. You can see the pinch. And then the last one is the number 10 brush, and this one is a little smudger. So this one comes to a nice little point, and you can, if you like to really work the smoke out the lower lash line, it'd be good for that. Or sometimes what I like to do is real precision blending, again, on my eye fold. I'm not even gonna call it a crease, but anyway, that is the number 10 brush right there. And very beautiful brushes. The Yano set from Beautylish is, again, very on par with the other handmade Japanese eye brushes that I have in my collection. So that is a really pretty set right there from the Yano series from Beautylish. And as always, a huge thank you to Beautylish for sending over these brushes. They're just really stunning. And that's everything for my haul today. I've got like ants in my pants, right? Because I had ordered a custom saddle back in September and it came in, and the tack store that I ordered through is open until 3 o'clock today. So I'm like, you can make it. Otherwise, I have to wait till Monday. So I'm super excited to go pick up my saddle after this. Maybe I'll post a picture on Instagram if you guys want to see what it looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.